What's up, guys? I'm here with Eloise. She's a 15-week-old Bernese mountain dog, and we're just working on some leash manners outside of my apartment building here. Now, the biggest complaint that I usually get from most puppy owners, and generally from most first-time dog owners, is that their dogs have a really hard time focusing on them outside. That's usually because we introduce way too much of the world way too fast. Especially for puppies, everything is new. And so I want to make sure that I'm introducing small worlds first and making sure that she's responsive within that small world before I start increasing the distance and increasing the level of distractions. Here you see me just practicing on some basic sit downs and stays, some leash walking back and forth. I want to make sure that she tries to stay on one side for the most part and not zigzagging back and forth. I want to make sure that you're setting up yourself and your puppy for success. So having short little distances at first and still spending the same amount of time that you would spend on a regular walk. So let's say if your walk is 30 to 45 minutes, you can still spend those 30 to 45 minutes right in front of your house and making sure that your dog is super responsive within that time frame. After your dog does well with that, you can start increasing the distance and starting to add more and more distractions. But try not to add too much too fast, especially if you're already having a hard time with your dog focusing as soon as you walk out. Dogs don't really know how to behave on a leash right off of the bat, and so we have to show them those expectations. Notice that when I move around, I tell Eloise there, right here, come to me. She's running over to me. She's super excited. She went past me, so I went the opposite direction. I'm calling her back to me. Yes, yes, yes. What a good little puppy you are. Right here, she goes back into my walking exercise. If she starts getting a little too far ahead, I'm like, nope, let's go this way. I want to make sure that she learns to stay by my side when we're walking. And this is how we start introducing those nice leash manners, not by reacting to the situation. Now, I see that there's some people coming our way here, and so I'm pulling off to the side, and I'm asking her to sit. Obviously, her being a puppy, she gets distracted here for a second by a stick on the ground, but I get her back in time just to get that nice, beautiful sit as people pass by. She's a little interested, but as soon as I'm like, oh, let's go this way, she's like, yeah, usually coming with you is a lot more fun, so let me go check out what you have for me. Especially as a puppy, we need to start introducing these leash manners, and living in the city, we have people, dogs, all kinds of different distractions coming our way. So I want to start giving her some guidance off of the bat by making myself super fun. Let's go, Ellie. Yes, good girl. Right here, she stops for just a second. But again, using my leash, I kind of guide her over to me. And as soon as she starts walking, I'm like, yes, good girl. We're going to practice a nice little sit right here. We're going to go down right there. If she tries to go into that sit after I told her to down, I give her that negative marker and then put her back at that down. Right there. I want to make sure that she knows that if I put her at a down, that means hold that down until I tell you otherwise. Good girl, Ellie. Good girl. Nice job. Right there, again, she broke, and so I'm saying that negative marker again. Sit and down. Good girl. This is why our release cues are going to be pretty important. Then I'm going to go ahead and call her over to me. Good girl. Now, if your dog has worked for you for a nice amount of time, you can go ahead and start playing with them, try to interact with them. Your walks need to be pretty fun. I want to make sure that it's not all about structure. It's not this rigorous training. I want your dog coming on walks and training and any kind of interaction that they have with you as positive. I want to make sure that you are super fun and your dog wants to do stuff with you. Here you see me trying to incite some play with her. I'm kind of roughhousing a little bit. Good girl. She worked for a few minutes for me, so I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, now it's time to relax. Let's go ahead and play. Good girl. A lot of owners don't even know how to play with their dogs, and so it's important to do all these things, again, in a small environment where you control most of the distractions that are coming your way and keeping you as a primary focus. We go back into a sit here just to kind of hang out for a little bit. Good girl. All right, let's go. She's like, oh, there's something here that smells good. Here, I found a stick that we can kind of play around with a little bit, and guess what? Now while playing with the stick, I can also practice some drop-its. Good girl. She's right here tugging, tugging, tugging. Good job. She's like, I'm going to go take it over here. Right there, we get a nice little drop. Good girl. Go ahead and give that back to her. She's going to take it over to the grass, which is fine. Right here, I noticed her trying to chew the bark off, and so I did another quick little drop it here. Good girl. I threw the bark away. Picked up another little piece of that stick and had her come back to play with me some more. Good job. So remember, guys, try to make your walks fun and engaging. Happy training.